We're here in Ancaster, Ontario, talking with Remi Pelletier-Roy, a member of Canada's national track team, who has just been here to speak with members of the National Cycling Centre Hamilton younger riders about his experience and motivation in getting ready to move on in cycling. So Remi, what made you decide to come, or how did you come about to come here to talk to these young riders?
I've been seeing that NCCH team going for a couple of years now, and I always talk to Rick. I find he's a nice guy, and I was interested in what was the program, so I was just talking to Rick, and he invited me to come over and have a little talk with his rider, and I really enjoy that kind of things. Even if it's in English, and sometimes I'm not the best in English, if I don't speak too fast, I can make myself understandable. So it was really fun to come here and see all those kids in that nice program. So many of them, there's like 20 people training right now, so it's really fun.
So what do you think of the center here? It's there's not a lot of places like this in Canada.
No, it's the first time I see such a place. I've been hearing about it, but to see it is really, really nice. I think for the kids, it's so much more motivating to train with all their friends and all their teammates than to be alone in their basement. So I know it can be trained here every day, but if they know they come in a weekend or in the weekdays, I think it's a really, really nice place to train for them.
Now, I mean, we've just heard that Canada will not have a men's team pursuit team at the World Championships coming up in about 10 days. A bit of a shock. I mean, when did you guys find out that you weren't going to be going to Worlds?
I think the selection was released a couple of weeks ago. They changed the format a little bit, so I know we're kind of the first reserve team, so we're not that far, but most likely we won't be going. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing for sure, because we've been training hard, and I think we've improved a lot in the last couple of World Cups. But I think in Cali we didn't have the ride we thought we had, and would have been that, I think we would have been going, but it is what it is, and I think we can learn from that. And we're here in Milton to train as if we were going to World Championships, to make sure we get that preparation done, that we went through the process already, maybe for next year. So I think, yeah, it's disappointing, but the guys are still motivated, and I think we'll get stronger out of that for sure.
So talk to me about, I mean, the team, obviously, as you said, you didn't qualify this year, and that's obviously a big goal, and the biggest goal is going to the Olympics in Rio. So where do you think you guys are in terms of the development and getting ready for possibly being able to go to Rio?
I think it's a work in progress. I think a year of time from now, we were not the team that we are now. So this is really encouraging. For the Olympics, it's a bit different than for World Championships, because the quota are different. There's some place for America, some is for Europe. So it's a different game. It's still going to be super, super hard. But I think if we keep progressing the way and the rate we've seen in the last year, I think it's still something possible. It's still something we can look at. But it's going to be hard for sure. And not qualifying for Worlds this year show we still need to improve and make progress. But I think with Ian, I mean, it's the first year we have a coach, so I think we can be hard on ourselves, and I think we can do better. We can progress more. But I think also that if we take a step back and we see what was the program a year ago, which is basically nothing, I think it's still not that bad. So I'm pretty happy with that, and the guys I'm working with are keeping improving every day, and I can see that. So on that perspective, I'm really happy. But I still acknowledge that we need to work harder and to get faster for sure.
So I mean, what's your schedule? What's your program look like now? Because obviously there's not the Worlds, but we still have Pan Am Games coming up, in that track that you're training on in about 5 months. So what does your program look like going forward?
This is kind of our selection camp too for Pan Am Games. But after this, the younger guys of the team, which they're almost all U23s anyway, they're going to Europe for almost 3 months, I think, do Nation Cups and big European race to get stronger, to get more endurance and all that. So they come back in June, where we'll make a track camp there and put all that together again. So for me, I'm not a U23 anymore, just out of that. So I'll be racing with my team, Garneau, for the next couple months. and then come back here and join these guys to put all that together for Pan Am Games, which is another pretty big event for us because it's major games, it's home, it's on that new track. I think it's going to be pretty big deal to me. I mean, at least to me, it's a pretty big deal. So I want to see that Team Pursuit on the podium for sure. And I mean, selection needs to be made, but if I'm to ride the Omnium, I also want to be on that podium for the Omnium for sure, even maybe winning it.
Now, the track in Milton, I mean, you raced on it a couple of times at the Nationals and at the International Challenge, and as you said, now you've been holding a training camp. So you've had a chance to be on it for a while now. I mean, now that you've had some hundreds of kilometers on it, I'm assuming, what's your overall impression to the track?
I felt the track changed, like from Nationals to Milton Challenge to this training camp. I think the track ride is smoother. I think they made some correction, and I think it was normal because the wood need to sit, or like, I'm not a pro on that, but I think they made a couple change on the track, which now the track ride is super smooth, and for Team Pursuit is one of the easiest track to ride because, I don't know, the banking, the way the track is made is, for Team Pursuit, it's pretty easy. And it's pretty nice too for like beginners because I think the track is not super inclined, so it's not that impressive for someone that want to get into the sport, which I think is nice because it's our only track. So if we have to have a track, it's nice that it's user friendly for people that just want to get in. So, and on the speed side, it's for sure it's not the fastest track in the world for now at least, but it's not the slowest too. I think it's a pretty good range because if you train on like such a fast track, you think you're so good, you know. So I think it's nice to have a sea level track that is decent fast, but also that it's realistic, that the times that we're doing here, we'll be able to replicate them everywhere else in the world. So yeah, so the track feels faster and faster, like from Nationals to Milton, just with my IP I can feel that that was much faster at Milton Challenge. So I think the track is getting faster, but also it's going to be just a nice range of speed to be realistic with it.
So, I mean, from here, you got the camp. I guess that's finishing up shortly, and then you go home for a while, or do you start heading off for road training camps?
Yeah, like a couple of weeks home, take some rest. My transition from track to road, and then off to my training camp with the road. So, in mid-March, so I guess it's 2 weeks off season, and then back on it.
Great. Well, thanks very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you out on the road.
Thank you very much.